Hello and welcome to the Teens on the Road podcast, where we talk about all the ups and downs of living in an RV as a teenager. I'm your hostess Kayla, and each week we'll meet a new perspective on what it means to live this lifestyle. Whether you've been on the road for 6 months or 6 years, this podcast is here for you, to share laughs, to remember the hard times, and to celebrate the good ones. Stick around to meet our guest of the week and learn all about their story. Ready for the ride? Let's go!
Hi, I'm Luna. My family's been on the road for I think 2 or 3 years. Fun fact about me is I have a green thumb.
So Luna, what's your traveling story? What inspired your family to start living this lifestyle?
So during COVID, my parents did not like Michigan, stay in Michigan, and they always had this little knack for traveling and stuff. And so they would watch YouTube videos on people that would go all full time and everything, and they would look up for rigs and stuff. So I got a rig, and it took 2 years for us to get on the road.
Wow.
Because apparently everything was just going wrong in our books.
Bummer.
Yeah. That was basically how it all went down. We bought it, and so far it's been such a great time. Met so many new people and friends.
Awesome. So it's been going well for you, huh?
Yeah, I'll say that.
How old were you when you first got on the road?
So I would be 10.
So what was the transition like for you when you first got on the road? Was it hard moving into an RV?
So I've always had a lot of junk in my room. It would be filled with a bunch of things to do or a bunch of stuff that wasn't necessary. So when we moved on to the road, I didn't know what to get rid of. So it was very stressful for me because I'd be getting yelled at to throw away some things, or you got a tiny, you have to have smaller things, have a smaller collection of things, and that was fun. But it was getting onto the road. It was kind of hard since I was 10 or 11 years old. I was leaving behind my friends, but I didn't know most of my friends in Michigan were fake. So when I got on the road, I started to open my eyes more, and I was like, oh, maybe it was a good thing I left.
Yeah. So it was mostly the getting rid of your junk.
Yeah, getting rid of my junk. Yeah.
And then leaving behind friend junk.
Friend junk, yes.
Nice. What impact has traveling had on your mental health overall?
My mental health, I mean, so our school is always kind of hard. So it was very stressful being on the road because they expect you to be stable in doing online school, but that's not what we're doing. So I'd be stressed about that. I guess I just really have stress problems, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always that. I was never really good at focusing in anything. So when I moved onto the road, I would have special jobs or something, and I would totally fly out, go over my head. And, didn't really recognize it. And then being on the road, it's kind of I've learned to focus more, and I've learned to be able to remember a lot of things.
So it's been the doing your jobs on the road has helped you focus more. And then what do you do for school?
It's just online school. It's not private school. It's more of a Christian school.
Okay.
But it's online. But they're really strict because it's an academy. So.
Gotcha. Do you have any pets?
We used to have 2, but now we have 1. His name is Beef.
How does he like living on the road?
He loves it. He loves car rides, and he just the worst part about him is that he lays in front of the AC vent.
Oh.
We only have 2 AC vents back in our truck, and it's both on the floor, and he likes to block all of it.
What kind of dog is Beef?
He's an English bulldog, a full-bred English bulldog. He's also a rare color, which I don't think most people realize that.
Mm-hmm.
He looks more like a brown, but he's more of a lilac in the sun. So yeah, he has a little purple, purpish. That's what I said. Purple tint to him.
So he's a handsome boy.
So he's very handsome.
Yes.
Everyone loves the Beef when they meet the Beef.
Do you have any funny stories from him?
We found this out. It's a funny story, I guess. So one night, I think it was around 3 a.m. We hear the carbon dioxide alarm go off because on the floor.
Oh, the carbon monoxide
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, B farted right in front of it. And that's why it went off.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It was so funny. And now we gotta be careful because he also likes to boop his nose on it and sets it off.
Really?
And then he likes to breathe in front of it and it sets it off as well. And then, of course, he likes to fart in front of it.
Yeah.
Or roll on the sign on it. So, that's fun.
No carbon monoxide is safe from beef.
Yeah, like, we would be relaxing one day during school, and then also we hear it, and Beef is, like, barking at it and stuff. And it's like, dude, you set it off. Or another thing is that I don't know if any other dogs have had this happen to them, but he farted one day and he freaked out. He ran across the entire rig.
Really?
From his fart.
He was like, what was that?
Yeah. And they were like, oh man, you got a taste of your own fart.
Yeah, for real. That's funny.
Yeah.
This episode was sponsored by Dragon Moon Boba. Customize your own flavor to suit your taste buds and enjoy with friends at full-time family events. All drinks are made in-house to your liking by yours truly, Drake and Luna Gibson. Come get some now.
So moving on to traveling. What was the first time you fell in love with a place?
I think Badlands.
Yeah? How come?
I liked Badlands because you're able to run around and stuff. I've heard of the Badlands and stuff. I had like little posters and books of the Badlands, and I was always obsessed with it because of all the colors and all the cool views and stuff. Bummer is that when we went there, I started having ankle problems because Drake sprained my ankle when I was younger.
He sprained it?
Well, fractured it. He jumped on the trampoline and jumped up my foot. And
ouch.
I walked on it for the entire day like it was normal.
You know, that happens when people break their bones. They're like, meh, you know,
yeah,
I just walk on it.
Yeah, no, my dad was like, oh, you're okay. So I started walking on it the entire day.
Oh my gosh.
A fun thing. Our doctor was freaking out because I walked on it. Yeah, I started having ankle problems. I still have them if I'm like overworking my ankle, my right elbow too, because I had popped out a place when I was younger. But it's both of those, and I was not having a good time, but I loved the place because I was just always so obsessed with it, and I never got to see it in real life, and I never thought I would be able to see it until we went on the road.
So it was your number one bucket list, and now it's your number one favorite?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was like second on my bucket list.
Nice. What's a place you hope to never return to?
Wait, what?
What's a place you hope to never return to?
Death Valley.
Really?
Yeah. I had a pretty bad time in Death Valley.
What happened?
I was wearing all black. It's like the hottest place on earth, and like
so you were just dying. Basically.
I was dying. I had a really bad headache and stomach ache and stuff because of how dehydrated I was, and I just laid down in the car, did not move. Another place is an RV park called Southern Palm, I think.
Where is it?
It's in Florida, and they park you in so tight. You know, like how Balloon Fiesta. No, you weren't there for Balloon Fiesta.
I've been to Balloon Fiesta.
But like, you know how like tightly they pack you in. That's how it is.
Yikes.
Yeah, and it's like we had like few inches from another person's slide next to us.
I know. That's how a lot of Florida is, just because there's not a lot of space, and they try to fit as many RVs as possible. It's just like, come on.
I have to say, like, the hot tub was disgusting. It was full of, like, dirty stuff. And then if you go down the other side of the park, it's all open. They were not allowing us to go over there.
Why?
I don't know. There was, like, you apparently had, like, you had to buy it for more money and stuff.
Oh, maybe it was, like a timeshare thing.
I don't think it was. They just were complaining about it. But yeah, there was a cat that was also trying to get into our rig, and it was our neighbor's cat.
A gross cat?
Yeah.
Gross.
But it's phenomenal how they park you in so tightly without you guys hitting each other. It is crazy.
Skill.
It is. They use a rope too. They like just use a rope, and they're like, oh, we gotta like turn to the right a little bit. Oh no, go to the left. Okay, go straight.
Oh my god, I can't imagine.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So for you, what is the hardest part about traveling full time?
The hardest part, there's a lot of hard things. Leaving your best friend behind, like if you like have a full-time, like if you have a friend that's just full-time too, and you like travel with them for a while, it is really hard to say goodbye to them because you don't know when you're going to see them again, or like it's going to be like the end of the year or maybe like a few days or something. But it was really hard for me to say goodbye to my friend when I was leaving her.
Yeah, I know. we were with my bestie a while. Well, it was like September. And it was just like really hard to say bye. I mean, it had only been a couple weeks, but it was just like, ugh, I don't want to leave.
Yeah, because like every time you're just by yourself, it's like boring. You're like, oh, why is no one here? Why is no one able to hang out?
Right.
Yeah.
Or you'll be with other people, but they're not your bestie.
Yeah, they're not your bestie. Yeah.
Totally relate.
Yeah.
So, in your experience, what are the best ways to make friends on the road?
Best way to make friends. My dad likes to introduce me to my friends a lot.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, oh, well, there's this family here. We're gonna go hang out with them, and you're gonna make friends. And I'm like, okay, Dad. But I have to say, just when you meet new people on the road, like new friends and stuff, you're both gonna be awkward. But like the way I see it is, I like, oh, you're gonna become my new bestie.
Yeah.
You're gonna be my best friend now. So
Just have that mindset with everybody.
yeah, kind of that's how I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have to say, I think when I first met Lily, I was like, I like her vibe. We're gonna be besties.
Lily, who's my sister, by the way.
Yeah.
So it's just like you go in with the mindset of, let's be friends.
Yeah, and then it just suddenly, just don't be the awkward one. I have to say too. It's like you're both gonna be awkward, yes, but the way I do it is like, well, I'm not gonna be the awkward one because then we won't become friends, and the entire thing would just be all awkward.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So try to be the conversationalist.
Yeah, and be confident of who you are and stuff.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
What is something about traveling that you have learned to love?
What I've learned to love is family time. I love family time. Every time we're just like, everyone's done with work, everyone's done with school. We all like, I don't think we have these anymore, but like we used to a lot in the beginning. Is where we would all have like a movie going on or a board game or like card games or something. And we don't do that anymore, but we like to sit down with each other and like watch TV together or something. But Drake's always in his room, but my mom and my dad and I, we just all sit on a couch, watch a movie, and cuddle together.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like the best time because it's all fun and everyone laughs at stuff.
It's just nice hanging out with your family.
Yeah, and then like seeing my friends too.
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever I see one of my best friends, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're here. And then I run in to give them a hug and stuff.
So loving the reunion.
Yeah. I guess like what I've learned is that like in my brain I remember like reunions and stuff, but then I make up my reunion with this person. Like when I was going to see my best friend Abby, I was thinking like, what would our reunion be like? Will I tackle her or like will she like hit me or something in the stomach? I don't know.
I do the same thing actually.
Yeah, you just sit there and you're like, wonder how epic this reunion is gonna be.
Yeah, for sure. It's like you don't see them every day, so like you're always treasuring those moments when you get to be together, and when that first reunion moment's really special.
Yeah, it's not like being homesteady because when you have a house and you live there, and like you have friends there to live near you, you're able to see them like basically every weekend, if not at school if you do public school, but like you get to see them often.
Right.
But on the road, you'll see them probably a week and then go separate ways, and you don't see each other for like another month or so.
So it's always more special.
Yeah,
the quality over the quantity.
Yeah, and I think that's what I love about being full time as well, is that like you make every moment
count.
Yeah, every moment count.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
Yeah, I agree with you. You think you'll travel in the future?
Yes, I want to travel. If anything, I want to be a commercial pilot just so I can travel.
Really?
I want to travel, and I want to make money while I travel too. And becoming a commercial pilot seems like the best option because you're able to go from like the U.S. to Japan or like the U.S. to France or something, and it's just fun. Like you get to stay at a hotel. You don't have to pay for the hotel. You don't have to pay for the food, and they give you just a spot to stay at. You're there for like a few days or maybe just a day, but it's still fun. You can like go travel around and
right.
stuff.
Traveling's your life.
Traveling's my life. It became a part of my life as soon as my parents chose it.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
I could totally see you as a pilot too. For all the teens listening, do you have any advice for them about living this life?
Help the parents pack up and set up. I know it sounds like a lot of work, but it's so beneficial. I mean, like, when you help them, it is 10 times faster than those two just doing it. But it's just, like, 10 times easier, too, because, like, your parents aren't that stressed, but, like, it's just faster and, all, like, together and stuff. So, yeah.
Help out your parents.
Yeah, just help out your parents. That's all they need.
Right. For sure. And just, like, that helping out, you're bonding with them at the same time.
Yeah, unless your dad is very angry about something with Black Tank, then he's just like, I don't need your help. And you're just scared, you're just shaking in your boots. I'm like, Mom, Dad's scary.
I know, right? Help your parents out. Don't mess with dads when they're dealing with something, though.
Yeah,
Totally agree.
when you can look at them, you just know they're, like, mad at something. Like, wait, I could say, do you need help? He might enjoy it, or I will probably get yelled at.
Yeah, for sure.
But still, either way, just ask for help. Like, they enjoy that so much. We got into so many fights without Drake and I helping. Like, we would go, my mom would yell at us to go out to her dad and say, like, you ask him if he needs help, and if we don't want to do it, then we get yelled at. But either way, it's just, parents appreciate it when you're like, hey, do you guys need help with something? And it just relieves so much stress off their shoulders. It is easy peasy lemon squeezy for them.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. So before we wrap up, do you have any closing thoughts or questions for me?
What was your transition like on the road?
So I was 14, about to turn 15, and it was kind of hard because the most traveling we did was like family trips. We'd take like a week off of school and just go somewhere cool, or we'd like walk around Charleston or something. Nothing like major. It was pretty low key.
Yeah.
But like getting on the road, I probably had like 6 months to mentally prep for it. We got the RV, we renovated it, and then it was like time to go. So the transition from, a regular homeschool life to homeschool life while you're also traveling, it was an interesting one. I was having interestingly, I was having like friend breakup problems that had nothing to do with my moving away. So it was like kind of helpful to just distance myself from that. Looking back, seeing that distance definitely helped me. But the first year was just kind of hard because I didn't have a lot of RV friends. It was really lonely. But, it was just a season. And I'm glad that it happened because it brought me closer to my family and it brought me closer to God. And in the end, it was really good. But it was not easy, but it wasn't extremely difficult, I guess. I'd rate it like a 7 for difficulty.
Nice, yeah. We did kind of the same with you guys. We would travel, but it was actually for like 2 weeks or a week. So just go to like Florida, travel on a plane to Florida.
Right.
Yeah, there's some relatable things. Like it brought me closer to my family and God as well, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Some people have a harder time than others. Some people just, slip on in there and they're like, you know what, this is great. So it just depends.
Yeah, traveling's always been a part of my life, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as I was born, we're like, oh, well, we're gonna bring her to Universal when she's 2. I was 2. I don't remember half of the stuff.
Yeah. You have a question for our next guest. It can be silly or serious.
What was their weirdest experience at a national park? Like, what's like the craziest experience at a national park?
I like that one.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining me, Luna. It was very fun.
No problem. It was fun talking to you and all the viewers on the podcast.
Hi.
Hi.
If you liked this episode, feel free to subscribe so you never miss one. If you'd like to connect with us, follow us on Instagram and feel free to reach out with any questions or feedback. And don't forget to leave us a review on your streaming service of choice. It really helps us grow and reach more listeners like you. If you're a traveling teen interested in being a guest star on the show, fill out our form and we'll get back to you soon. This episode was sponsored by Dragon Moon Boba, thanks to Drake and Luna Gibson. Our intro song was created for Teens on the Road by Mila Rose, and you can follow her Instagram at Mila Rose Sings. Special thank you to our guest of the day, Luna Gibson. Thank you again for listening, and see you down the road.